Notation for this course is as follows. When you see P, P means an equivalent value of one or more cash flow at a reference point in time called the present. For example now, this is the cash flow diagram. The present is what? Zero. So the value of any money at a particular point in the present is denoted as what? P. For example, if you are told that you plan to borrow 15,000 to help you buy two wheelchairs, you plan to borrow is what is in the present. So in this cash flow diagram, the up arrow is for what? What's it called? It's for receipt. While the down arrow is for what? Disbursement. Do you understand? In the cash flow diagram, any receipt, any cash inflow, you use the what? The up arrow. But if you are disbursing or spending money, you use the what? The down arrow. So this question says you plan to borrow 15,000. It is what? P, because it is what? In the present. Since you are borrowing, is it recipient or disbursement? Receipt. So it's what? So you are at time zero, P, and it equals to what? 15,000. Then F. F. F is the equivalent value of one or more cash flow at a reference point called the future. For example, now you took a loan of 15,000 naira to buy a wheelchair. You're not asking me what is the value of this money in 10 years' time. You're asking me what the value of this money in 10 years' time. So let's say this is 1, 2, 9, 10. The value of this money in 10 years' time is noted at what? F is the future what? The future what? Then A. A is a series of consecutive equal end of period amounts of money. For example, if you are told that I want in 10 years' time, I want to save 50,000 in 10 years' time. How much should I deposit every day for 100 days in order to be able to get 50,000 in 10 years' time? We are going to use this notation: series of consecutive equal end period amount of what? Money. We want to get 50,000 after 10 years. We require to find the equal amount of money that we'll be able to save every day for 10 days in order to get what? 50,000. Then you not using what? A. You are saving, you are disposing. Do you understand? Do you understand? So that is what? A. Then N is the number of interest period, which is the number of what? The time minutes. We require to calculate the particular things in period of years, month, or days. Then I. Okay. For example, now you want to borrow 10,000 naira to pay school fees. You are in the present, so you use P to denote the present. That's what you use P for. They not asked, this 10,000 I borrowed now, in 10 years' time, what is the value? So in 10 years' time now, we note that what? F, future value of that money, or future what? Then for A, you are told that you want to be able to get 50,000 naira to buy a particular thing. Next year, let's say in 12 months time, you are required to find the equal amount of money you have to save every month to be able to get 50,000 in a year time. So you notice by what A is a series of consecutive means that they follow each other. End of period amount of what money. This is the end of this is the end of one period, second period, you do that to get to what? So in a cash flow diagram, the upper arrow is used to denote receipt, any money that you receive. But the down arrow is used to denote disbursement. Let me ask a question. You want to you want to save 5,000 every year for 10 years to be able to pay your school fees in that 10 years. But in that the first instance, somebody give you 5,000. Will it be up or down arrow? You want to be able to save, you want to be able to save 100,000 at the end of, let's say, 12 years. Eh? And you plan on saving 5,000 every year for that 12 years. It means that you are depositing what? 5,000 every year. But in that instance, somebody gave you 5,000. In that instance means at point what? Zero. How do you know that 5,000? Is it up or down? You receive. You want to be able to save 5,000 every year for 12 years to get 100,000 naira. But in that first year, somebody gave you 5,000. No, you save it. You don't understand?
It's a decision. It's a decision. It's
You
mathematics.
must spend the money.
No, you have received before you save.
When you receive it, you save it now. Once you want to save, this thing is that's why this question is a word problem. You have to what? Decode it. You want to save 5,000 every year for 12 years to get 100,000. Abi, even though the person gives you that 5,000 here, then you put it back. The person gives you that 5,000 here, you put it back and leave it here. You understand?
But
When the first is
you are money
to save
20,000.
this money.
You want to
Is
save
it?
Yes.
This is an added advantage. Somebody just gave you the money.
Yes. So you're not receiving it. You are saving it immediately.
What of the person give you 10,000?
You put it 10,000 because you want to save that money to be able to.
But it is 5,000 annually.
That is for the next period. You start from what? One. But in that point zero, somebody give you 5,000. You understand?
What if somebody give you 2,000?
Let's not. You understand? You understand?
Assumption.
You know people will put it
Instead of you put that 5,000.
So let's look at this way. So let's look at this one. You deposit 50,000 into your savings account that pays you 8% per year. You plan to withdraw an annual end of year amount of 10,000 for 5 years, starting from next year. At the end of the sixth year, you plan to close the account by withdrawing the remaining money. Define the symbol involved and draw the cash flow diagram.
Engineer, it's on now. And let's also write it down.
The first sentence says you deposited 50,000 into your savings account. You see that you deposit 50,000 into your savings account that pays you 8% interest rate per year. You plan to withdraw an equal amount of money. of 10,000 for 5 years. You plan to withdraw an equal amount of money of 10,000 for 5 years. It means that you want to be after the first year you want to withdraw 10,000.
Give us the question. I understand.
Says you deposit 50,000 into your savings account that pays you 8% interest per year. You plan to withdraw an equal amount of 10,000 for 5 years. So the goal here is just to present the question on a cash flow diagram. So that you deposit 50,000 naira into your savings account and plan to withdraw 10,000 for 5 years, starting from the next year. At the end of the 6th year, you plan to close your account by withdrawing the remaining money. So that at the 6th year, you plan to close the account by withdrawing the account. So let me explain this diagram. And the interest rate here is what? 8%. So the logo for this class is time na money. This 50,000, if you look at this thing now, you see that there's 50,000 naira here. If I remove 10,000 every year, the money has finished now, but it's wrong. Because you are depositing this money at an interest rate of what? 8%. This money now will not worth 50,000 at the end of the 50th year. It's not possible. So if you save this money here now, after 1 year, the money is no longer 50,000 naira. It has accrued an interest of what? 8%. And it follows suit. So at this 6th year now, there will be a balance. There will be a difference. What you get at the 5th year here is not longer 50,000 naira. So if you disburse 10,000 for 5 years, there will be a balance that you need to use to close the account. So let's continue. Then let's look at how to find the future worth of an investment. Find the future worth of an investment. So for example now, you deposited 50,000 now at time zero. They're now asking you what's the value of this money after 5 years. So you say 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to withdraw this money at the 5th year. What is what? The value. So the formula to use is what? You want to find F giving P. You want to find the future value of this money giving the present. So it's the formula to use. So you say F is equal to P bracket 1 plus I raised to the power what? N. So the present value is what? 50,000. The interest rate is what? 8%. And the number of years you are saving that money for is what? 5 years. So you get what? The answer. So you have to find the future what? Future what giving the present value. Finding F giving this one is clear. So from this formula now, you can make P the subject. Make P the subject, you get P is equal to F 1 plus I is equal minus n. So this formula now you can find the present giving the future.
This one is empty now. I don't think.
You don't understand?
Yes.
You can find the present giving the what the future. For example, now they can ask you how much should I deposit now? So in 10 years time, I'll be able to withdraw 100,000. If you're asked to find here is 0, how much should I deposit now? That's P. So after 10 years, I'll need to withdraw 150 what? So now you have future to find what present. You use this formula. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it's not as simple as this, but I'm explaining as we go forward. Yes. How much should you deposit now to be able to withdraw 150k in 10 years time? So this one is not hard now. This one now we just here now we put the head, just punch it, you get the answer. This one now you hit f at 150. 1 plus you may give it at 6%. You put it here and you put n as the number of what?
Minus
Yes. Minus n, yes.
And the date.
Then you are making p the subject from here. That's the way the formula is from. So the question says, the question says a company is examining its cash flow requirement for the next 5 years. It expects to replace a few machines and office computers at various times over that 5 years period. The company expects to spend 45,000 2 years from now. Page 135. So this company is examining its cash flow over 5 years. Question 1, example 4.11, page 135 on that page. So here is 0, here is 1, here is 2, here is 3, here is 4, here is 5. It is examining its cash flow requirement over the next 5 years. It expects to replace a few machines and office computers at various times over that 5 years. The company expects to spend 45,000 2 years from now. That I want to spend 45,000 2 years from now. This is 0, which is 1, it is spending 45,000 from now, and 40,000 3 years from now. 1, 2, 3, spending 40,000 2 years from now, and 25,000 5 years from now. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 25,000 5 years from now. Now asking you, what is the present worth of the planned expenditure at an interest rate of 6% per year? The company wants to know that how much will I have to be able to spend this money over the next 5 year period at an interest rate of 6%. So what do? You take this money to the present. Take this one what? To the present. Take this what? To the present. So you are going to look at it individually. So this one now, since here is the present, then what will that be? Future, future. Let's go this one, feature one, feature two, and feature what three. We want to find the value of this money at the present time. At time what? Time zero. So this is what F, we are giving F to find what? P, abi?
Yeah.
So to be find what P giving what F. Do you understand? This one we find this when this one is what given. So for this one now, you take this what to zero. So you start counting. Here is the what? Here is your origin. You can't count to zero. How will you count? One, two. So you look for P giving F. So it will be find P giving F I, that's I, N. N is number of ways. You counted what? Two. Have you? So P is equal to F one plus I raised to what? Minus N. So this will be 45,000. 1 plus 0.06. Do you understand? Let's call this one what? U1. Then this one, I will take this one also what? To be what? Present. So this is your what? Origin. You do what? Count 1, 2, 3. So the same thing. P2 will be, you are looking for P giving F. The interest rate is what? 6%. And the number of days is what? 3. So this will be 40,000. 1 plus 0.06. Same for the last one. The last one is to be F, P of F, 6%, 2.5 years. So you stay here now and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 25,000. 1 plus 0.06 plus 2 hours minus 5. NT will sum it. That is the amount of money the company should have to be able to cater for these expenses over the next 5 years.
How true this equation?
Yes, now NT will sum it to get the answer. The answer is the test now. The answer is equal to you got 92,316.5. So you find the P. You do P1 plus P2.
You sum them together.
And you saw the individuals, then you sum everything. You can't sum them together because they are at different time zone. You can't sum them together. So you have to sum them individually. Then you sum them. So you get 92,316.5.
How much is P1?
P1 to P total. So once you look at how to find a given P. Remember, A is a series of consecutive equal amount of money. That is A. For example, now, if you are asked to find how much should I deposit now, so over the next 10 years, I'll be able to withdraw 1,000 every year. It means you should find. No, if they are asked to find P giving A, sorry. How much should I deposit now? So over finding P, so I think, don't worry. How if you are asked to deposit, how much should you deposit now? So over a period of time, you will be able to withdraw the particular sum. So you are asked to find how much you deposit now. So you will be able to withdraw, let's say 1,000 for 5 years. So this one is an equal amount of money. So it can ask, this one means find A, B, giving what? A. So you can maybe ask that how much, if I deposit a particular amount, let's say 5,000 now, how much will I be able to withdraw for 5 years? Is that illustration? Yeah, now you are asked to find how much should you deposit now. So over the next 5 years, you'll be able to withdraw 1,000. So I think what is an equal consecutive series of money. So it's A. Here they are asked, if I deposit 5,000 now, how much will I be able to withdraw for the next 5 years? Do you understand? So this is what P, find A giving P. This one is find P giving A. So let's see. So the formula for finding is many one. This one I can ask to that if you start depositing, here is 0 now. Then you deposit 1,000. Yes, what will be the sum after 5 years? What will be the sum of that one in 5 years time? So this one is find F giving A. So find F giving will be giving, yes, this is find P giving A. What this one? This one is find A giving B.
This question, sir.
It's an illustration.
What of the question? This
This one.
illustration.
Okay, page 135. Let me use. So to find F giving A, the formula is to find F giving A. So to find P giving A, remember that F is equal to P 1 plus I is equal to N. Abi? So you put it here and you get P 1 plus I is equal to N is equal to A. So means that our P will be equal to A
The first one is the formula for this.
this one. P giving A 6 here. So P giving A. Find A. And you just leave it on the subject. You see, you give us the formula. It says, if you make the subject, you can find A giving P. This one is so you can find A giving F.
Then the second one,
Is to find P giving A. This one,
I mean the second diagram here. Yes.
find P giving
I mean the second diagram.
A. This one.
Yes.
Find A giving P.
The formula.
So you make A the subject, Yes.
Okay.
What about this formula data?
I don't think, give me formula book. Yes.
Okay, you even promise that
Yeah, the formula is inside the book.
you give me that.
No, they will send it. Don't be genuine. He says so yesterday. So remind him.
You define it.
Let's go to the one. I will learn to remind him. Let's remind him.
So let's look at example 4.12. That's page 161. Page 161.
1.1.
4.12.
You have 61.
Page 161, example 4.12.
Example.
4.12. So you have like one last page. Say how much money should you deposit in your savings account now to guarantee withdrawal of 3,000
Example 4.
for the 4.1. So how much should you deposit now to guarantee 3,000 withdrawal every year for the next 10 years? Deposit now. To guarantee 3,000 please finding giving what is just apply the formula and get it. Example 4.13 says how much money can a company borrow? How much money can a company borrow to finance an ongoing project if it expects revenue of 14,000 per year over 5-year period? So how much should the company borrow to finance an ongoing project? And that project is expected to yield 14,000 naira revenue per year for 5 years. Here is zero. This is 14,000 the first year. 14,000 the second year. This also says that the expenses associated with the project are expected to be 4-5 per year. This is saying that how much should the company borrow now to be able to finance a project, and that project is to yield 14,000 every year for 5 years. That's saying that there is an expenses that are associated with running this business. They have to spend 4-5 every year. As I'm making 50,000 naira, you are spending 4-5. You understand? No. Since how much should the company borrow now to be able to finance an ongoing project if it expects revenue of 14,000 per year over 5 years. 5 years period. Expenses associated with the project are expected to be 4-5 per year. Like this project now will be giving you 14,000 every year, but at the same time run this project will cost you 4-5 every year. You understand? So want to find what P. So you will take all this money what to zero. You find the future worth of this what money. You need the future worth. Want to find what the present worth. So since it's uniform, we now use what A. Find P giving what A. This one is the same thing. Find P giving what A. But this one you are spending, you are receiving. So it will be plus equal what minus. You understand? See, if it's not uniform, you do it one after the other. But since it's uniform, just call it what A.
Sorry. What if you have like 4-5 for 3 years, then 2,000 for 2 years?
That's not uniform.
You do that 4-5 uniform, take it. Give the other one. So here now our P now will be what we look for this first one to be what? But look for P giving what A. The next one is a minus, we're looking for what? P giving what A. So again now is 14,000 P giving A. What's the interest rate? 10%. 10. Number of days what? 5. This 4, 5. Yes, you get 10%. If you subtract 4, 5 from here now, you get 9, 5. So let's experiment it. Which is 9, 5. So let's look for 9, 5. You get the same answer. It's called the net. The net value now is 14 minus 4, 5. Can we proceed? Okay, here now. Would you understand the diagram?
I understand that. Just here.
Okay, 2 seconds.
This is
Here now is their uniform now. We call it A.
yes. They are no longer future word again. But if they are different, we call it future word.
If you take them back to present, since their uniform, we just call it what? A.
If it is uniform,
It's A.
it's not uniform.
You will treat it individually. And that method, see another method here. Let's look at another method. Let's look at another method. You need to take that. What you can do is that look at, you find the future worth of all this money in 5 years. Once you find it, you take that simple value down to the present. You find F giving A. You get it here. Are you? Now find the value of that money.
That is present giving.
That is
Future, that future. Find present giving A. 5.10 assignment. Page. It's an assignment. It's an assignment.
Is it the material?
It's an assignment.
Is it the material?
Question 2 says, determine the amount of money a person must deposit now in order to be able to withdraw 3,600 for 10 years, starting 20 years from now. Now, how much should the person deposit now? To be able to withdraw 3,600 per year for 10 years, starting 20 years from now. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4. But how much should the person deposit now to be able to withdraw 3,600 for 10 years, starting 20 years from now? Do you understand? You start with
Just on
5.10.
5.10.
No, check the schedule.
Assignment is one.
Do you understand the interpretation? Now, how much the person deposits now to be able to withdraw 3,600 for 10 years, starting 20 years from now? She start withdrawing the money 20 years from now. Start withdrawing the money. So we want to find the value of this money in the present. So what do we do? So there's a time shift. So what we do is that you find the worth of this money. Yeah, here now becomes zero. Here becomes zero. Yeah. Let's have the money here first. Once you find it here, you now take it to what? Zero. You understand? So we find P giving A here. Now come here and find P giving F. The other way is to take it one after the other. You call this one F. Find F, find P giving F for 1, find P giving F for 2, just to find the worth of this money now as 49.
Since they are constant,
Find the value of the money as times 0 here, which is at 19. The anything you get, take it to what? So it's best you have to understand to present it properly first before you be able to. So now this one now will become what? P will become 3,600 1 plus I n minus 1. So anything you get, let's say you got B, you now have our P here will be what?
That end there is 10.
Yes, this is 10. Yes. Here is 10.
That will be future.
That. Time present giving future.
That this value here will be future.
Here is future. Here.
Why are you putting
Why are you putting the value for P now? giving B. Okay, my answer here, I selected B. I'm not.
Okay, answer.
That's how you get it because the future. Yes. Remember, here is supposed to be F. It's supposed to be F. Anything you got here, you put it here. So let's go. Let's punch this one. Because it's less than yeah. So what's the answer there? What's the answer for that material? What's the answer? That's what you ask for. This one, first one.
28,045.781.
So example 2 says, what is the equivalent uniform amount? What is the equivalent uniform annual cost? Uniform annual cost, that is A. Uniform annual cost. A.
He said B is equal to that amount. But yeah, isn't as future.
If you are standing here now, this becomes your future. You understand? You are standing here now, this becomes your future. In the present for 10
But
years.
this extra 10 years.
You can also find F giving A, then make it back to
The
the
origin.
You can play with this. You can play with this flow. What is the equivalent uniform annual cost of $250 per year for 12 years, starting 5 years from now? If the interest rate is 12%, this one is a little bit. What they mean is that somebody is depositing $250 every year for 12 years, starting 5 years from now. Then what is the uniform annual cost throughout that year? Here is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't answer for being answer or depositing how much?
No.
How much?
$250. Yes.
For 12 years. Here now becomes
0.
number. You don't see it? Let me Like this person, you're using $250 for 12 years, starting 5 years from now. So that's how you present it.
So you let's take it back and forth.
So we find, so I have to find the annual. So we must take this value now to 0, then spread it over 12 years. So you can either take this to 12 and use F and spread it over A. Or you make it to 0. So find the equivalent minimum annual cost of $250 per year for 12 years, starting 5 years from now. Person student depositing $50 from the 50 for 12 years. Then we should find the equivalent annual sum. Then we should find the amount of money that can deposit every year to get the same thing as this one will do. This one is about it's 12 months. Instead of 5 years. Instead of going to start, that means you depositing for me and I just get a singular value that I can use to over this. So we can either take this value, turn out comes our 0. Then now find P of T. Yeah? Then you now take this value now to 0, which should be your P of what? Anything you get, that's how you can find A. Okay. That's someone want to find the equivalent annual sum. That's the one that you can at least be this one now with this one, just 5 minutes. And it's first in the future. It's just one. See now, you're paying $250 for 12 years. Okay, for 12 years. So the value of this money is 4. Anything I get here. Now take this value now to 0. That is looking. So now this P1 now becomes F. Yes. You now find P. No, you count from here. You count from here now. So that now here now is 6, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. It's not the 8. It's not the 8 or 6. 16 now. 16 now. So it's like it's 12 plus 4. 16. It's confusing, but just for one thing. So the easier way to take it to F. The easier way to take all these values down to F. So you now find F, giving A. You're now going to use how many years? You now use 12 plus.
We take it to
12 plus 4 is 16. You start from 0. 12 will be 0.
You will start from that.
You start from 1 now.
1 now.
Use 12.
And the first one is 12. We are bringing it back now to 16.
You know, we're looking for just F.
We're looking for F before you bring back to
So all these used for F now.
And that's 12 years.
12 years. I want to find the value of this number. 12 years. At 12 years. So I'm going to I will be. So once you get it, you take it to what? 0.
That is P given F
So you now give P giving F
for 60 years.
for 16 years. Yes.
Instead of
So the return is not tedious. So once you get here, like now spread it over 16 years.
P given F for A given F.
A giving.
Yeah, A giving F.
What find A? What find A?
Giving P.
No, let's want to find the answer. We want to
The
find
question
A.
is find A.
Find A.
Yes.
But it now depends what you want to use to find the A. Whether you want to use F or what P. If you are taking this one to here now, you now get what? F and A. You now bring F to here now, it becomes what? P. Then you now find A.
We can find A given F. Instead of taking to B,
Same thing.
You can find
You can find A giving F.
straight away like that.
Just take this one here and find A. So you find
It's better than this.
yes. You find F given A. For 12 days, you will now find A
Giving F.
for 16 years. Yeah. You find the relationship between F and A. You need to multiply your data.